What's up, everybody? It's your favorite junk bot's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at DX9 Splinter by Unique Toys, or DX9. I can't make sense of it anymore. They made the confusing even more confusing, if that was possible. It's a retooling of the salmoor mold, the Cykill. It's pretty good. Some problems were fixed, some weren't. Overall, I'm happy with it. Just a quick comparison. There he is next to the Generations unit. So, whatever. You know, different design, different. You know, this was a pretty good Hasbro unit right here. So, to compare, you know, give you a sense of size. I will say one thing they fixed right off the top are the instructions. The original salmoor instructions were like black on black, and it was hard to make sense out of it. And this has a bit more detail. Unfortunately, I already know what to do with it now, so it didn't really help me much. But for those that skipped salmoor because of the GoBot thing and got in on Splinter, you will be in good shape. So he rolls just fine. You know, good to go there, just like before. But the question that would at least be on my mind is if they were to remold this again into a Junkion, and you know they could troop build those, which could be a gift and a curse, would they be able to ride each other? And the answer is yes. They can ride it that way. Now, can they ride it like a proper Harley? Not really. Not really. But, you know, if you set them up right, you can't ride it like a crotch rocket. Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But, you know, theoretically, and now I've messed it up, but theoretically, if, you know, if they're riding each other, you know, one would still be in control, so you wouldn't really need to have one actually push the pedals and stuff, because he could drive by himself, so you could set it up that way. And that's pretty cool. Usually, if this is your first time watching some SKullface action, I always go from how it's packaged to its alternate form. I always do. The only reason why I'm not doing it this time is because I've already done salmoor, and salmoor I did it from bot to bike, so this time we're going from bike to bot, just so you have both points of reference. It does come with this as well, which we'll talk about later, but it doesn't really work in the bike mode. So, first thing you got to do is take the accessories off, which you push these in, and this has the same problem that the Cykill does, where one is looser and one is more stiff, and these extend as well. So, but the same problem for whatever reason. And then the wheels can be removed, and they are done just like Cykills, where it's this rubber over top of the plastic and the chrome, which is a very nice. And this is just, you know, pressure keeping this on there, so you got to unplug it. Basically, you have to get this part done, and then this part done, and then you transform the middle bit. And it's a series of swivels and hinges. So you know, sometimes, and these are ball joints here. These are articulated, so you can get the handlebars however you want them. Sometimes the problem with this is the ball joints, it's a really small piece of plastic, and they do pop off if you're not doing it just right, so forgive me in advance. So unplug here, this tabs in, get that out of the way. This tabs in to the front bit there, so get that out of the way. And then you can move that down like this, and then just work on fixing the legs, you know, the way they ought to be. So that collapsed in, pull that out, and let's see if we can't figure this out. This part disconnects like that. This eventually becomes the foot, I think. These go here. There you go. One done. This piece here then flips down. And then on the other side, this is the front of the leg here, I believe. So not. Nope, it's not. So turn that around, I guess. And once you got it to here, this bit. Now they didn't really fix this, which is kind of disappointing. But it's not that it's really a problem. It's really up to you. You know, so that's not really fair to say fix. But getting these arms out of these brackets it can be a pain. And I'm going to show you what I consider to be the best way to do it. And it's just a matter of figuring out the exact angle that it works. And I think it's one of those angles where it doesn't seem like it should work, but it does. And it's just such a tight fit, tight like a tiger. And you see I've got some chip in there already, which is a little disappointing. There. So to show you, the problem is that when you have the two together, it's hard to get the clearance. But the joint has to be opened here at the hinge for it to clear this part of the bike real easily. Then you got the head down in there. Swing the head up. Fold these back. Bring them around here. Kickstand up. Head up. Hands down. I don't have much nails, so. Forgive me. One problem they didn't fix here is that, you know, one of my big issues was that there was nothing to clip into there, and they didn't do anything there. And you know, there you have it, really. Now you can accessorize them as much or as little as you'd like. You have these wheels, and now you can add on this bit, plug in there, and then you can plug into the shoulder. Take the other one, and you can plug into the side there, so you can do like the, you know, the off symmetrical kind of thing. And you can take these off as well, which is probably what I will end up doing. This is once again, it's a tight joint. These spikes are really sharp, so it's hard to like get a grip on her. And I have some paint kind of defects in there. It's just a little sloppy, if you can see that, but just pointing it out. Come on, girl. There she is. There. And that to me is pretty cool. And then you can have these guns here, and you can extend them like this, or you can push this in and extend them like that, or you can keep them all as collapsed as you want, and he can hold them. It's not mine. He holds them by this thing flipping down here, which is stiff there. Yeah, let's see if I can. And stiff there, so that's nice, because one of mine I think was loose on salmoor. So you can hold them. I might have him hold them just so I don't lose them, but you know, there you go. And he's pretty good looking. What I like most about it is the muted colors. You know, it's really reminiscent of how you kind of view them in your mind as a Junkion. As far as articulation, it's the exact same as salmoor, but just in case you haven't seen that video. The head is on a ball joint, It's really limited here because of the mold of the plastic underneath the head, so you don't really get much up and down, actually at all, which is kind of disappointing. And shoulders, the situation is a gift and a curse. Like, they hinge out, so you can kind of do like a butterfly kind of effect with them, which I think is cool, but I would like the option to tab in, and you don't have that option there. And then it hinges here up and down and swivels here. Double jointed elbow, which if he's not holding his gun, get you everything you need. Wrist is on a ball joint, but you only really get the swivel of it. Waist, get you anything you need. Hips are on universal joints, not ratcheted, which is kind of disappointing for me. But they get you everything you need. Thigh swivel, knee get you past 90 degrees, and then the foot is on a ball joint here, which pretty much just allows for a tilt. I mean, for a rocker and the slightest tilt, but pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. And you know, he's good. He's good. There's some of the tolerances and the tightness of the joints. Like my you know, when you worry about repaints and remolds, you start worrying about you know, mold degradation. But my joints, like in the hips and everything, are actually tighter than salmoor's, and that's nice. The remolding of the chest and everything it's kind of involved. If you look at salmoor's, and that'll act as, you know, if you look at them side by side, you know, this chest here has been reworked. And if you put the pelvis backwards like this one is, you can even get more of a variety if you had them close to each other, say on a shelf. You get some paint in here. You know, they did some yellow accents and stuff on this guy, and they did some metallic paint and stuff, which is cool. But, you know, this one really still works. It's quite nice, and, you know, the heads are way different. Now, that does bring me to a bit of a complaint about this guy, and that is his head is, you know, it's close enough, you know, but it ain't perfect. There's something with the eyes are like a little too angled, I will say. I'm happy with him, but I'm not as like taken back by him as I was with SKull. I think SKull is just lends itself to this better, but articulation wise he's good, and mold wise there's enough difference in there to really make it cool. I did have this from this transform. This goes up like that. You know, or I guess it tucks down too. It works either way. But yeah, he's cool. Here he is next to an MP car, so around the same size there, and there he is next to Voyager Springer. So that kind of works well too. You know, there's iGears RC. So that all works really nice. Final thoughts. The problems with this guy is that the bike mode is way off, right? But it's the closest thing they could remold SKull into G1-wise, I guess, to make it pay off for them. As a result of the bike being way off, the bot mode can only translate but so close. The bot mode is pretty close, though. It's a lot closer than bike mode. If you display your guys in bot mode like most do, like I do, you won't have any problems at all, I don't think. The same problems that you had with the shoulders not pegging in, the same problems that you had with the transformation of the shoulders, you're still going to have on this guy. Nothing is new under the sun. And the face is not quite right. I don't know what it is, but it ain't right. It's close. And that's kind of this guy's gift and curse, is that he's close. On the positive side, though, a lot of the joints and everything feel tighter and more secure, like it's been mastered. There is light piping there in the front. I don't have my flashlight right here, I will show you, but it's like wraps around into the eyes, which is also cool. There's enough differences about him where, although it is a retooling and basically a repaint of SKull, there's enough differences where it does kind of stand on its own. And when you throw on the wheels without the shoulder pads with all the spiky spikes, it gives it enough of a unique twist with one on the leg and one on the arm to make it its own thing. It's a really smart way of doing it without having to pay a whole lot of extra money to get a whole new figure. Now, in terms of money, is he worth it? It really depends on how much you like the Psykill. If you were on the fence about the Psykill, there's nothing here that's going to sell you more on Wreck-Gar. If you love Psykill, you'll obviously love Wreck-Gar. If you can get past the bits that are off, if you can overlook it. For me, alt mode isn't a huge deal. As long as it's in the ballpark, I'm fine. But when it comes to bot mode, I want you to be on the field, not just in the ballpark. Stands aren't good enough. I need you on the field. Speaking of field, I apologize for getting this guy out to you guys so late. My intention was to have it up by Friday. I really did everything in my power to do so. The weather pushed back the whole thing, basically delayed a train that my package was on, and as a result, couldn't get him as soon as I wanted him. But don't worry, I'm gonna have my revenge on the weather.
Reigns, come down here and fight me, coward. No? Okay. I'll take my vengeance out on you another way.
Well, well, well. Not so strong and powerful now, are you? Let's see how tough you are when faced with one of these. Time to pay the piper. It's all good, and this figure is worth it. It's worth it enough for me that if they did a couple Junkyons, I would troop build them. But I would like to see the cost come down because they wouldn't need to retool as much, just different head sculpts. And I would like to see the cost come down a little bit at that point. When you start repainting to your third, fourth, fifth figure, let's see the cost come down a little bit if they decided to do the Junkyons. And if they do decide to do the Junkyons, I'm in for at least 2. I gotta be honest. I like him that much. He's not setting the world on fire. You know, this is not Scoria. This is not Fans Project's Revolver. This is not one of those toys that stops you dead in your tracks. But he is a solid unit. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Till next time, take care.